This is problem 2.01 for Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book from chapter 2, Should You Leave Your Advanced Anchor? We say we have an advanced anchor when we've taken the two back checkers that started on the 24 point and moved them up or advanced them to either the 21 point, like we've done here, or the 20 point, or the 18 point, or even the 22 point. Having an advanced anchor helps our game in many ways. It makes it easier for us to escape our back checkers. It limits our opponent's chances of priming us in. It limits our opponent's chances of blitzing us. It makes it easier for us to control our opponent's outfield. It makes it more risky for our opponent to leave any stray checkers out here in the outfield. So it severely limits our opponent's available game plans. However, there's a time in every game when we have to leave the back anchor, the advanced anchor. And so we need to know what decisions or what factors influence our decision. We'll look at things such as the race, who's ahead in the pip count, the relative strength of each player's inner boards or prime, threats facing each player, and if we're going to be leaving our back anchor, our advanced anchor, what threats do we have of being hit if we do make that run? And also the flexibility of each player's board. We'll weigh all these factors when making our decision whether or not we should run from our back anchor. And as usual in backgammon, there's always exception to these rules. Here's the position. We're blue. You have an advanced anchor on the 21 point. We rolled a 6-2, and our home board is on the bottom right. We'll look at two of the top moves, one where we break the anchor, moving 21 to 13, and the other move where we don't break the anchor, we move instead from 13 to 5. These are the top two moves. We're going to try to figure out which one is best. I'll give you my quick observations on each move, some of Tardieu's key points, Tardieu's expert analysis with feedback from XG, Tardieu's summary, and at the end of the video, I'll modify the position, which brings up a couple of questions. The first possible move is to break our anchor, to leave from the advanced anchor, moving 21 to 13, like this. This runs when we're ahead in the race. After the roll, we're 27 pips ahead in the race. We have a stronger inner board. We have 3 points covered compared to White's 2. White only has 2 points, allowing a direct hit that he can hit us from. It leaves a vulnerable blot in White's inner board. And we have many strip points. All these are stripped down here. The second possibility is to not break our back anchor, instead come down from 13 to 5, like this. This brings a builder down from the midpoint, leaves no blots, strips the midpoint, passes up a chance to escape one of our back checkers, and leaves us with an inflexible board. We only have 1 point, the 5, that has more than 2 checkers on it that's not stripped. All the other points are stripped. Compare the two final positions. Look at the features of each position, who's ahead in the race, how the boards are compare with strength and inner board, strength of the inner board and primes, the threats facing us if we do run, and the flexibility of each board after the move. Here's the before and after of the play where we break our anchor and run. And here's the before and after of the play where we don't break the anchor, we stay back on the 21 point, and instead move a checker down from our midpoint, 13-5. Take a look at each board and think of which one you would prefer to have. Some of Tardieu's key points and factors to consider when we make a break or deciding to make a break from our advanced anchor. We have to look at the race. We shouldn't run if we're trailing the race or if the race is even. We should only consider running if we're leading the pip race. We should look at the strength of our board, our inner board, and if we have a prime also. And if our inner board or prime is stronger, that favors winning or running. If our inner board is weaker than our opponents, or they have a better prime than we do, that favors staying, not breaking our anchor. If we're being threatened of being hit, our opponent's checkers are massed in front of ours, in front of our anchor, we shouldn't run, we should stay. If our flexibility is going to get worse after the move, if we don't run, we should consider running. And if the opponent has many strip points, we should stay also. We shouldn't run because we don't want to, they're going to crunch their board very soon if their points are stripped. So we should stay back and wait for them to crunch. Possibly give us a shot. Let's see what Tardieu and XG have to say. For the play where we don't break the anchor, instead we move from 13-5, Tardieu says 13-5 leaves all of our points stripped, except for the 5. So we'll soon run out of checkers to play. We'll be forced to break a point under what may be worse conditions in the future. White can play their back checkers easily from the 24 point or the 18 point, and they can even break their midpoint if necessary, because the 18 point here, our 7 point, their 18 point, controls the outfield. So they can still hit any of our men who we might expose down here with these guys. This will greatly reduce our flexibility if we make this roll, and we will probably have to damage our board further in the next few turns. If we leave the anchor, Tardieu says we're ahead in the race by 27 pips, and our inner board is stronger than our opponent's inner board, which both favor running. If we don't leave our anchor now, our position will become rigid, while whites will remain flexible. By leaving the anchor, we will still have our structure in place. The midpoint will still be there. The 11 point we'll still have, and our 8 point we'll still have. That'll help us to bring our last remaining checker, this guy, home to safety. He'll be able to land here or here or here. That means we should run from the 21 point now. Like this. Tardieu summary: when your flexibility is at risk, you should start thinking about leaving the anchor. Our flexibility is at risk here. It's going to get worse as we go on if we don't run now. So now we should start thinking about leaving the anchor. If I modify the position, give us more timing by taking the checkers that were here on the 4 point and moving them to the 8 and the 13, that gives us more flexibility and more timing. And when we have a more flexible board, we should keep our anchor and bring a checker down from the midpoint. So here's our more flexible board. Come down from the midpoint, leave our checker. I believe this is because we want to maintain contact now that we have better timing and we're not worried about crunching our board yet. I think I'm interpreting this correctly, but I might be missing something. Let me know if you agree or not, or if you have a question or a comment. All feedback is welcome. Make sure to check out Alex Eshaghian's excellent review of Tardieu's book, along with his other exceptional backgammon videos, as well as Sunny Florida Backgammon Club's YouTube channel, which has an enlightening series of backgammon lessons, which covered Tardieu's book. Also, Jason Lee's YouTube channel is very informative, has a lot of good lessons on it, especially like his Mid-Atlantic Backgammon Club study sessions. So check it out.